It's 2015. I'm sitting across from my wife of 13 years, 2 kids, 3 countries, and a life we built together from scratch. But that's when I also realized that I'm like most men over 40, I'm in a lukewarm relationship. So I asked myself one question. If I met this woman today, knowing what I know right now, would I go on a second date with her? And the answer literally scares the shit out of me because it's a no. After one failed marriage and a difficult 5-year breakup, here's what I have learned. This video today has 3 parts. Part number 1 is about those 3 criteria every successful relationship needs to have. Part 2 is about the 3 connections that you probably didn't even know that they exist. And part 3 is that one simple test and question you can ask to check if the thing you have is the best thing ever. Okay, let's get started. Part number 1. These are the building blocks. These are the non-negotiables. These are the 3 criteria that, in my opinion, every single relationship needs to have. The first one is support. You're building something. You have a business. Maybe you are a professional athlete. But one of the key criteria for successful relationships is the fact that partners, they need to be able to support each other. So can I trust my partner to have my back when I'm at my lowest point, when I'm at my weakest moment in life? Does my partner support me regarding my 20-year plan? Because that's not a given. There are people who pull you back because they are jealous. It takes a special person to support you no matter what, no matter where you want to go in life. That to me is a true partnership. Criteria number 2 is that you need to be able to have aligned interest, shared interest in life. I think it's going to be a complete disaster if one person plays volleyball over the weekend and the other one wants to go to the gym. I want to spend my most passionate moments with somebody I care deeply about. Criteria number 3 is actually the hardest one. It's about both people being able to make each other better. This is about a true 50-50 partnership. It's not about a parent and a child or master and a slave, but a true partnership where both people can make each other better. So think about it. So from a coaching or mentoring perspective. So now today, I'm in a position where I just listen to my partner giving me advice basically, and I'm able to listen and I take advice. And then tomorrow, the roles are reversed. It takes a special person and it takes a lot from both people to be able to put yourself in that spot where you can really make each other better. Because ultimately, 1 + 1 has to equal 3. Very many relationships, or too many relationships, if you will, they are 1 + 1 equals 1.5 or 2. And that's not the thing I want to be in myself. Okay, let's go to part number 2 in our video. That's about those 3 connection layers in relationships. So the first one is the everyday connection. So who does what? Let's assume that you are with somebody, you live together, and your question is whether who takes the kids out and who takes the trash. I cook, you clean, whatnot. So this all has to fall in line without any arguments or nagging or power battles or blaming, so to say. That's the everyday connection. Second point is the sexual, the passion, the chemistry. So there needs to be that. Otherwise, it just, in my opinion, just roommates, right? And third, the hardest one again, and you don't get to level number 3 without 1 and 2 first, is the so-called spiritual connection. I'm not a very religious person, though this has nothing to do about religion, but it's about breathing the same air, sharing the same values, being able to complete each other's sentences, so to say. So you basically read each other so well that you're always going in the same direction. And like I said, getting to level number 3 is not possible without the everyday connection and the sexual connection first. And then the part number 3 in this video was that one question that I mentioned to you. So if you ever doubt if the thing that you have is the best thing ever, you ask yourself, knowing what I know now, if I met this person today, would I go on a second date with them, with him or her? And that to me tells everything. If you're completely brutally honest and the answer is no, then you gotta walk the fuck away. There's no other chance because you owe it to your kids, you owe it to the bank, you owe it to everybody in your so-called inner circle to be true to yourself, to be happy first. I know it firsthand that if you wanna be the best possible dad to your kids, you gotta take care of yourself first and foremost. Like they tell you on airplanes. What do they tell you about oxygen masks? Take care of yourself first before you can take care of the kid next to you. That's really the rule number one. The mistake people often make, and the reason why we stay in those semi-optimal or lukewarm relationships, is that we fall in love with the potential. Even if that answer to that question about dating was no, we're like, okay, but there's so much potential. We share so many things together, and we have this agenda where you are changing this way and I'm changing that way, and then this is going to be the best thing ever. No. That's never going to work. If I now meet new people, I actually tell them brutally honestly that, hey, ask yourself, you look at my flaws, my character traits, and you ask yourself, if I don't change one bit, not even a millimeter, is this the best thing ever? If yes, let's hang out. Because when you meet new people, you actually need to fall in love with two types of persons, or two people actually. The one I'm today, without any changes, and then the one I'm gonna be or wanna be in 20 years. Are you comfortable with both? Because way too many people fall in love with the potential. He's such a great guy, but I wish this and this and this would differently. No, they're never gonna change. Like the old saying goes, people rarely change in relationships, and never when they are told to, because it's oftentimes a power battle, it's a power game. And that's the thing I want to at least stay away from at all costs. And finally, regret and pain. The reason why we stay in those terrible relationships, toxic relationships, is because of pain and fear. But remember, pain and fear are short term, but regret lasts forever. We simply can't deal with being alone, or what our neighbors or relatives think about the situation. So that oftentimes is the most scary part to us. But if you think about the long-term cost of your decision making, do I need to pull the trigger on this hard decision right now and go through hell for the next 2 years in order to not have any regrets at 90? It's probably worth it. At least that's how I looked at it. Because to me, regret is the biggest price tag. It's the costliest thing in my life. So I'm willing to go through a lot of hard stuff now so that I don't have any regret at the end of the day, because that's how I want to live my life. To each his own, that's okay. But remember these principles and you're off to a really good start. That's how I look at it. These are the ones I follow myself, and we'll see how the future shapes up, so to say, in my case. But this video today was another one on my channel where I try to help men over 40. So if you ever struggle, if you want to audit your own life, reach out. The link is down below. You have my contact details. And in the meantime, I appreciate all the support, all the comments I get. I'm sorry. And like I said, just let me know how I'm doing. I would love to hear back from you. That's it. And I'll talk to you again in the next video.